An elderly woman has died after being pulled from a burning home in Newmarket. 2 other people were injured, and the cause of the fire is under investigation.
Police continue to search for a driver in a hit and run in Markham that left a 19-year-old woman with life-altering injuries.
And Canada comes out from behind to beat Finland 3-2 to get a chance to play for the gold medal in men's hockey at the Winter Games. This is Live at 5.
Hello, I'm Arda Zakarian.
I'm Liz West. Welcome to Live at 5. Canada's men's hockey team has advanced to the gold medal game at the Winter Olympics. Nathan MacKinnon scoring a goal on the power play with less than a minute left in the third period to lift Canada over Finland 3-2. The Finns jumped out to a 2-0 lead, but Canada battled back to make the final. They'll play the winner of the United States and Slovakia on Sunday. Canadian hockey fans in Italy celebrated McKinnon's winning goal. Hundreds turned out to this watch party at a bar in Milan and will surely be back for Sunday's gold medal game.
We're feeling so good. Yeah. It's absolutely incredible. The energy here in Milan is incredible. We have tickets to the gold medal game, so we cannot wait until Sunday.
That game was incredibly tense, especially in the second period when we were behind. To come back at the end was incredible.
At what point were you getting really nervous?
I think anytime you're down a goal with, 7 minutes left, you're going to get nervous.
Crazy. I'm kind of emotional, but it's good. I'm happy.
Just a little bit, but I never doubted the boys. I knew they could do it.
What are your plans for the gold medal game?
I'm going to the game! Woo!
Canada was not expecting to have to use traffic and congestion in front of the net in order to win, but they did that. They adjusted. Their strategy had to completely change. And I think this sends a message to Team USA, because the Americans would have wanted to do exactly that, is slow Canada down. And the message to Team USA, if Canada faces the Americans in the gold medal game, Canada's basically saying, we can win this game using speed, or we can win this game using physicality. Let us know how you want to play, and we'll play you that way.
And for a reaction to the win here at home, we're joined live by CP24 CJ Liu, who is at North Toronto Memorial Arena near Yonge and Eglinton. And it looks that we might play the United States come Sunday.
Yes, and we have been talking to a lot of people here who say they don't want to see the U.S. in the gold medal match, but that's what it looks like right now for Sunday. So set your alarms. We are all getting up early on Sunday morning to watch Canada get that gold medal match. And a lot of people here at North Toronto Memorial Arena have been watching the game today against Slovakia, and they were nervous, including the Moini family. They are here with their little ones. So, guys, I know you were keeping track of the game, pulling double duty, watching your kids on the ice, and also keeping track of the score. What was your thoughts going through your mind right now?
Oh my God, I was so nervous when I saw them losing 2-0. I was just, I couldn't watch it, so I shut the TV, and then I just kept track of my score. When I saw that they won, I was so excited. I was so happy.
Exciting comeback, though. Yeah. Beautiful.
What does it mean to you to be able to see Canada get so far and possibly take on the U.S.?
Yeah, it's expected.
Expected, high expectations. And you guys, you were busy playing hockey, skating. How has it been watching the Olympics and watching Team Canada?
Good.
Good. And you're a figure skater yourself, and you told me you want to be in the Olympics one day too, right?
Yeah.
Right? And what was the goal you told me? You wanted to be the youngest?
The youngest skater in the Olympics.
Aw, that's amazing. So we're hoping 2034, right? That is the goal. And you were also a big Team Canada fan. Would you rather see USA or Slovakia in the finals here?
Slovakia.
Slovakia? Not cheering for the U.S.?
No. Canada's going to beat them 100%.
Okay. We love that. We love that. So any plans for Sunday, guys, on how you're going to watch the game?
Absolutely. Can't wait to get home, because, we're going to be out for breakfast, and then we're going to try to catch the game.
And how has this been a bonding experience for you guys as a family? You know, I'm sure you can all relate. You're a sports family.
Such a bonding experience. Every time I'm running with my phone to pick them up after school, and I'm like, we won a medal, or we got into a final, and I got really excited. I'm really proud to be Canadian right now. Yes, especially right now.
It's so awesome. I totally understand. Every time you feel your phone buzz, you're like, what's happening? Is it a score? Is Canada up? Well, thank you so much, guys. And we are all cheering for Team Canada come Sunday. And there's also some changes happening for Sunday morning. Premier Doug Ford said he's going to allow bars and restaurants to start selling alcohol early at 6 a.m. That means everyone will be out and about celebrating as a team. And right now it's looking like we are going to face the U.S. come Sunday. But Liz and Arda, everyone set your alarm clocks. We are getting up early Sunday morning to cheer on Team Canada.
You know, Sija, there's about 19 minutes left in the third period, but the U.S. is now up 5-0 against Slovakia. So, as you said, it looks that way, but they still have 19 minutes to score 6 goals. So let's see what happens in the meantime. Thank you so much. And by the way, I love your Canada red that you're wearing.
And so do you have it on?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, don't look at me. Okay. Thanks, Sija. Okay, let's keep on the Olympics and our wins. Calgary's Brendan McKay took bronze today in the men's ski halfpipe. It's the first Olympic medal for the 28-year-old and second ever for Canada in the event, which debuted at the 2014 Games. Canada also added a bronze medal today in women's speed skating. Valerie Malte picking up her third medal of the Games in the 1,500 meters. The 35-year-old is competing in her 5th Olympic Games.
Canada's women's curling team lost its semifinal. Rachel Homan dropping a 6-3 decision to Sweden this morning. Canada still has a chance to win a medal, though. Homan will take on the United States for bronze on Saturday morning. And disappointment for Canada in the women's ski cross. Co-flag bearer Marielle Thompson was eliminated in the quarterfinals. She was going for her third medal in the event. Her teammates Hannah Schmidt and Brittany Phelan also went out in the quarters.
And it was an impressive showing for Toronto figure skater Steven Gogolev, who was competing for the first time at the Winter Games. Just 21 years old, he delivered the second best free skate in the men's singles event and clinched 5th place overall in his Olympic debut. He joined CP24 this afternoon.
It is very, very interesting the way you're able to see other athletes from all the other sports in the village as well. Although we are separated by different villages, I was able to see some of the very top NHL players in the village. So that was very interesting. And to be honest, it did not really feel much of a different competition pressure-wise. I came in there and I did the best that I can.
An hours-long closure on the 401 in Mississauga today after a deadly single-vehicle crash early this morning. A 35-year-old man died after his pickup truck collided with the barrier separating the eastbound express and collector lanes near Winston Churchill Boulevard around 6 o'clock this morning. Repairs were needed to the barrier after OPP completed their investigation. Police are still working to determine what led to the crash. Let's check on the commute now with CP24's traffic specialist, Adra and Ciawa. And Adra, last check, we saw that Winston Churchill Boulevard, that area, the highway was opening up.
Yeah, it's completely open now. So that's the fantastic news if you're headed on the eastbound lanes of the 401 through Winston Churchill. Don't have a camera view because that reopened about 30 minutes ago. But I will show you what's happening right now. A lot of problems going on. We'll start on the Burlington Skyway as you make your way Niagara bound. It's on the upside of the Burlington Skyway, Arda. Find the left lane blocked following a collision. And then if your travels take you on to the Toronto-bound lanes of the QEW through Cawthra, a stalled vehicle is blocking the left lane. Running into some problems on the Gardner. This is on the Gardner if you're traveling on the eastbound side, just as you make your way past York Bay Yonge. Pretty significant issue here. 2 right lanes blocked following this crash. Then problems involving an overheated truck. This is on the southbound lanes of the Don Valley Parkway, just south of the 401. Find the right lane and the acceleration lane from the 401 is blocked. Further south on the DVP, another collision just as you make your way south of Bayview. Bloor has the 2 left lanes occupied, and even more problems. This is the eastbound lanes of the 401 in the express through Avenue Road. It is the right lane that is blocked following a stalled transport. We are dealing with a vehicle fire cleanup. My camera through the area went out, but it's on the eastbound lanes of the 407 at Brock Road. Fire's out, but the 2 right lanes remain off limits.
This CP24 traffic report is brought to you by 407 ETR. Enjoy the journey with a stress-free commute.
Sending it over to Samantha TC at the TTC Transit Control Center. Good afternoon, Samantha. Just checking in to see if there are any issues that we should know about on TTC.
Thanks so much, Ajwa. So a problem has just come up actually along our line to Bloor Danforth with a fire investigation at our Donland station. So service has been suspended between the Woodbine and Broadview stations. And I've just gotten an update that shuttle buses have been ordered for this disruption. Now, looking at service on line 1, things are moving well with no delays reported and smooth sailing through the downtown core. Now, no delays also to report on our LRT lines 5 and 6. Now, looking over at our bus routes, a couple detours to be aware of if you are headed out. So firstly, in the west end, the 40 Junction Dundas West buses, those are bypassing stops along Maybell Avenue because of a report of a gas leak in the area. So buses are continuing both ways along Dundas Street between Kipling and Islington Avenue. Now looking a little further west at Carlingview and Disco Road, 112 West small buses are detouring northbound around that area while Toronto Hydro crews perform repairs in the area after a fire reported earlier on in the day. Now to stay up to date on the latest, especially with the issue that's evolving along line 2, make sure to check us out on the ttc.ca website. Now that's it for us, and I'm going to send it back to you in the newsroom.
Thank you for that, Samantha. And police continue to search for a driver wanted in a hit and run in Markham yesterday afternoon that left a 19-year-old woman in critical condition. And for more on that story, we're going to go live to CP24's crime analyst, Steve Ryan. What can you tell us, Steve?
Well, let's start with the law. The criminal code requires that every driver involved in a motor vehicle collision where the injury occurs, the code requires that the driver is not only to remain at the scene of the collision, but they're also expected to render assistance to anybody that is in need of that assistance, and they are to remain on the scene until medical staff or EMS arrive. And in this particular case, York Regional Police suggests that this did not occur. This failed to remain happened yesterday at 3:40 p.m. at the intersection of Denison Street and Featherstone Avenue in Markham. As a result, a 19-year-old woman was rushed to hospital where she remains in a trauma unit with life-altering injuries. We heard from York Regional Police earlier on today, and here's how the officer described what happened. Let's listen.
This vehicle continued with the victim on the hood of their vehicle for about 50 meters. They would have known that they had struck somebody as they carried her for quite some time. It's a 19-year-old girl with very serious injuries. She was taken to a trauma center where she remains stable but still critical and will have life-altering injuries. This vehicle, without stopping, then continued in quite a dangerous manner, actually, eastbound along Denison Street towards Middlefield Avenue. When they got to Middlefield, there was a red light, and this vehicle then decided to drive into oncoming traffic to avoid waiting at the light.
We'll show you pictures of this vehicle that the police believe is the one responsible for this collision, and it's described as an electric blue-colored four-door Honda, year of make between 2016 and 2020, and it's got steel rims and winter tires. Now, typically, people leave the scene of an accident because they're impaired, they have no driver's license, they have no insurance, the car is stolen, or they're wanted on a warrant of some sort, or it's just panic. Regardless of the reason, the police are suggesting or advising the driver of that vehicle to contact a lawyer and then surrender to a police station.
All right, Steve, can I ask you, what is the likelihood of tracking down the car with the photo and that amount of information?
I would say close to 100%, only mainly because of the fact that they have the vehicle on an image. And if need be, and that vehicle is not located by these very capable investigators within the next little while, they can always go to a Honda engineer and have that engineer give them the exact make, model, and year of that vehicle. And then with some investigative techniques, they can then get the registered owners of all of those Hondas in a said area. So let's say you'd start in Markham. You look for your registered owners in Markham that have that car, and then you just go door to door. Old-fashioned police work will track the vehicle down at some point in time. But I would imagine once this car is shown on our screen and on our website, as we're doing throughout the day, somebody will notice that vehicle, and or the driver might hear this report themselves and just realize that it's just be a matter of time before that the vehicle is tracked down, and they will adhere to the advice of the police, and that is get a lawyer and then surrender to a police station.
All right. Thanks for
No,
that
it'll just be a matter of
update.
time.
Thank you for that update. CP24's crime analyst Steve Ryan.
An elderly woman has died after being pulled from a house fire in Newmarket. Crews were called to the scene on Kirby Crescent near Bathurst Street and Davis Drive shortly after 6:30 this morning. They found the woman in the home and rushed her to the hospital. 2 men suffered non-life-threatening injuries. The cause of the fire hasn't been determined, and the fire marshal has been called in to investigate.
Police are once again urging the public to stay off the ice along the city's waterfront. Ever since the ice formed on the water this winter, police say that they've received about 10 calls a day about people walking on the ice, including children and strollers. Police say 3 people have gone through the ice in the past couple of weeks, all of them able to get out. That's good news, but police say the ice is broken daily to allow ferries and other vessels to get through, and fluctuating temperatures, well, they've made the ice unstable as well.
Going out into the ice, there's no plan. There's no safety equipment. These people aren't wearing life jackets. Normally, when we do our ice rescue training, when we go through, we send the officers out that are training for the first time, going through to trust our equipment. We're wearing survival dry suits, life jackets. So when we go through, we're buoyant when we hit the water. If you don't have that stuff on, usually you go through fast. And sometimes with the flow in this harbor, and that's what the danger is in this specific water behind me, there's always flows. You can just not even catch a piece of ice, and you can go straight down to the bottom and underneath the ice and gone.
And if you see a person or an animal who has fallen through the ice, police say that you need to use items that allow you to reach them without actually walking onto the ice. It's 5:16, 2 degrees, feeling like -4 right now. This is Live at 5.
Coming up, how a measure in this year's city budget could help lower costs for businesses in the city. Welcome back. Mayor Olivia Chow is touting a measure in this year's budget that will help lower costs for thousands of businesses in our city. Chow visited a restaurant on the Danforth this morning to speak about the increase in small business property tax discount. It's rising from 15% to 20%.
Here in Greektown and across the city, small businesses are creating jobs, bringing people together, making our streets safer, warmer, and more welcoming. And they organize some of the most celebrated events in Toronto. And yes, we couldn't be more excited that Tony and the Greektown businesses are planning to bring back Taste of Danforth. Yes, the largest food festival in the city. Hundreds of thousands of visitors back on the Danforth for food and fun.
Toronto doesn't have the big pockets that the other levels of government have. We only collect property taxes and your water bill and your garbage bill. But this is one of the things that we can do, because when we're talking about protecting our economy and protecting jobs here in the city of Toronto, there's really nothing more we can do than to protect our small businesses that are on streets like this, that keep neighborhoods alive, that keep our city vibrant.
For small operators such as myself, fixed costs are our biggest challenges. Property taxes are due whether we've got people coming through the door or not. The economy is slow, strong. It's still due. Unlike the larger corporations, we don't have the multiple locations. To spread our risks, we don't have corporate backing. We have to absorb these rising costs that are part of our business landscape. So when the city increases the small business property tax discount, it directly eases one of the most significant financial pressures we feel as small businesses.
According to the city, more than 95% of businesses employ fewer than 100 people, supporting nearly 1 million jobs, which represents 53% of all employment in Toronto. It's 5:20, 2 degrees, feeling like -4 with the wind chill. This is Live at 5.
Actor Eric Dane is being remembered after his death at the age of 53 after battling ALS. Coming up, we'll take a closer look at the debilitating disease with a couple of Toronto doctors.
Actor Eric Dane being remembered for his work to raise awareness about ALS. The 53-year-old star of Grey's Anatomy and Euphoria died in Los Angeles yesterday. That was less than a year after announcing his ALS diagnosis.
Yeah, ALS is a motor neuron disease. So the nerves that control the muscles slowly begin to degenerate. Patients eventually lose their ability to walk, lose their ability to use their arms, usually their ability to speak, swallow, and eventually breathe. Unfortunately, we don't know why these motor neurons are degenerating, but the pieces of the puzzles are coming together, and we're optimistic about the future.
It was incredibly fast for Mr. Dane, and that's not abnormal for someone to be diagnosed with ALS and then, die within a year or less. Often it's 2 to 5 years is what we say, which, can seem slow, but it's often quite fast for a lot of people. I think the great thing is that we finally have a therapy for a subset of people with ALS that is working. It is effective. It is changing some lives. It's only about 2% of the disease, but it tells us that we can treat it. Otherwise, we're still working on trying to get better treatments for the wider group of people living with ALS. We've been working very hard on a global level all around the world with scientists. We will get there, but obviously funding for a disease like ALS is really the challenge.
According to the ALS Society of Canada, there are currently 4,000 Canadians living with the disease.
It's 5:24, 2 degrees out. This is Live at 5.
Lunar New Year celebrations continue in the GTA this weekend, and coming up, we'll show you what happened when a lion dance team stopped by our newsroom today. The Motong Lion Dance is celebrating Lunar New Year. This high-energy lion dance team dropped by our CP24 newsroom this morning ahead of their performance this afternoon in Richmond Hill at Shops of the Parkway. They are also scheduled to perform tomorrow at Chinatown Centre and Dragon City Mall, and on Sunday as well at Yorkdale Shopping Centre.
The lion dance is a very significant tradition held in many Asian cultures throughout the world to celebrate Lunar New Year, ward off evil spirits, but also bring together the family in a really fun and engaging environment.
And every move, every beat, there's a meaning behind it, right?
Indeed, yes. Every performance starts with a bow to greet the audience, to greet any spirits that are there. There's different emotions, head up, head down, all sorts of routines that we can do.
Did you see the dragon in the back photobombing there, trying to get a little attention? That's a busy team. They also take part in numerous competitions, placing third in the prestigious 2024 Canada National Competition. It's 5:32 degrees. This is Live at 5.
Coming up, the latest on the search for a driver in a hit and run in Markham. Police say the vehicle carried the victim 50 meters after striking the 19-year-old. We'll be right back. An elderly woman has died after being pulled from a burning home in Newmarket. 2 other people were injured, and the cause of the fire is under investigation.
Police continue to search for a driver in a hit and run in Markham that left a 19-year-old woman with life-altering injuries.
And Canada comes from behind to beat Finland 3-2 to get a chance to play for the gold medal in men's hockey at the Winter Games. This is Live at 5.
Hi, everybody. I'm Liz West.
And I'm Arda Zakarian. Welcome to Live at 5. Police continue to search for a driver wanted in a hit and run in Markham yesterday afternoon that left a 19-year-old woman in critical condition. For more, let's go live to CP24's crime analyst, Steve Ryan. Steve, when we spoke to you last, you said it's just a matter of time until police figure out who this person is.
Yeah, and that's right. And I say that because there is very good surveillance images of the vehicle. So the police can, if it gets to this point, and it may not because of the fact that they've got these images that we've been showing all day, they can get the exact make and model of that car with the assistance of an engineer, and then they can get the registered owners of all those vehicles in a particular area and just go door to door. Good old-fashioned police work will certainly track this down. And that vehicle, by the way, is an electric blue-colored four-door Honda, believed to be between the years of 2016 to 2020. So the Criminal Code of Canada requires that every driver involved in an accident where injury is involved, not only are you required to remain at the scene until police arrive, but you're also required to render assistance to anybody that might need help until EMS arrives. And in this particular case, police are telling us that this did not occur. The fail to remain happened yesterday at 3:40 p.m. Denison Street and Featherstone Avenue here in Markham. It was an intersection. Police say that a 19-year-old woman just got off of a transit bus and she was crossing the intersection with the right-of-way from the south side to the north side when this electric blue-colored Honda went through the intersection against the red light, carried her, as you said, for 50 meters before driving away dangerously, trying to flee or attempting to flee the scene of this collision. So they are actively trying to locate this vehicle. Here's more from York Police, who we spoke with earlier on today. Let's listen.
To the driver, we do have a lot of information about your vehicle so far. You made a mistake, and your mistake will continue if you do not turn yourself in. We are urging you, strongly urging you to turn yourself in to your lawyer, to us, to explain your decision yesterday. To the community, anyone with information, please call 911 if you see this vehicle. To any car shops or repair shops or windshield repair shops. Also, if this vehicle comes in, it will have significant windshield damage. It will have damage to the hood and to the roof of the vehicle. If this vehicle comes into your shop, please call 911 immediately.
Now, some of the most common reasons why a person leaves the scene of a collision would be because they are impaired, they have no license, they have no insurance, the car could be stolen, they're wanted on a criminal warrant of some sort, or they just panic. But regardless of the reason, as the officer said there, they are advising the driver to contact legal counsel and then surrender to a police station. Send it back to you guys.
All right, thanks for that, Steve. An elderly woman has died after being pulled from a house fire in Newmarket. Crews were called to the scene on Kirby Crescent, that's near Bathurst Street and Davis Drive, shortly after 6:30 this morning. There they found the woman in the home and rushed her to hospital. 2 men suffered non-life-threatening injuries, and the cause of the fire has not been determined. Fire marshal has been called in to investigate.
Police are once again urging the public to stay off the ice along the city's waterfront. Ever since ice formed on the water this winter, police say they have received about 10 calls a day about people walking on the ice, including children and strollers. Police say 3 people have gone through the ice in the past couple of weeks, and all of them were able to get out. Police say the ice is broken daily to allow ferries and other vessels to get through, and fluctuating temperatures have made the ice unstable.
I don't know why somebody would walk onto an obvious open flow water, and especially putting your child onto that risk where they're not making that choice themselves. There's no safety equipment, no life jacket on at all, no thought into that. Just want to get a good picture, and that's not worth anybody's life. So, like, no ice, it's just no ice is safe ice, and we just want to get that message across.
If you do see a person or animal who has fallen through the ice, police say you should use items that allow you to reach them without walking onto the ice.
All right, let's check on the commute with CP24 traffic specialist Adjoa and Saya Yeboah. Adjoa, how are the roads tonight?
Very, very slow going, Liz, and sprinkled in the mix, a lot of problems. So we'll start with issues really impeding the drive for commuters heading into the downtown core via the eastbound lanes of the Gardner. This is just past York Bay Yonge. It is this collision. It does have the 2 right lanes blocked. You do have that sole lane that is getting by. And in the meantime, as you try to make your way into the downtown core, traffic is significantly backed up from well before Parkside. Using the Eyes West camera now, not the best angle, but just through this stretch on the Gardner, if you're traveling westbound, actually, just past Spadina, it is the left lane that is blocked out following a collision. It's the only view I have because my other camera is out. Some good news. We had some significant issues. Southbound on the Don Valley Parkway, it was happening south of Bayview Bloor. Collision had the 2 left lanes blocked. The problems there have cleared. We still have problems. This is on the 401 if you're traveling eastbound in the collectors, right underneath the Allen. It's a collision that does have the left lane blocked. A few problems that I can't see eastbound on the 407 right at Brock Road. It is a collision. Actually, it's a vehicle fire that's still there in the 2 right lanes, and then a collision on the northbound 400. This is up at Highway 9. It's the 2 left lanes that are occupied as well. Now I'm going to send it over to Samantha TC at the TTC Transit Control Center. Samantha, just checking in, hearing there were issues on TTC Line 2?
Thanks, Adjoa. So that's right. We did have an earlier delay along line 2 impacting eastbound service in the east end, rather, between Woodbine and Broadview stations. But I'm happy to report that is all clear. So it's smooth sailing on all of our underground subway lines, as well as line 5 and 6 LRT. And now looking over at our bus routes, we do have a detour on the 40 Junction Dundas West buses in the Dundas and Maybell area. So buses are not traveling along Maybell Avenue because of reports of a gas leak in the area. So buses are continuing along Dundas Street West between Kipling and Islington Avenue. And now looking at subway service late night tonight, if you are going to be traveling along line 2, starting at midnight, there will be no service between Keele and St. George stations for planned track work. Now shuttle buses will run along that stretch between Keele and St. George station, and regular service is set to resume tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Now to stay up to date on the latest, make sure to check us out at ttc.ca or follow TTC Notices on X. And that's it for us at Transit Control today. I'll send it back to you in the newsroom.
Thanks, Samantha. Canada's men's hockey team has advanced to the gold medal game at the Winter Olympics. Nathan McKinnon scoring a goal on the power play with less than a minute left in the third period to lift Canada over Finland 3-2. The Finns jumped out to a 2-0 lead, but Canada battled back to make the final. They will play the United States on Sunday. And Canadian hockey fans in Italy celebrated McKinnon's winning goal. Hundreds turned out at this watch party at a bar in Milan and will surely be back for Sunday's gold medal game.
We're feeling so good. Yeah. It's absolutely incredible. The energy here in Milan is incredible. We have tickets to the gold medal game, so we cannot wait until Sunday.
That game was incredibly tense, especially in the second period when we were behind. To come back at the end was incredible.
At what point were you getting really nervous?
I think anytime you're down a goal with, 7 minutes left, you're going to get nervous.
Crazy. I'm kind of emotional, but it's good. I'm happy.
Just a little bit, but I never doubted the boys. I knew they could do it.
What are your plans for the gold medal game?
I'm going to the game! Woo!
For a reaction to the win here at home, we're joined live by CP24's CJ Liu, and you're at the North Toronto Memorial Arena. That's near Yonge and Eglinton. And now we know the U.S. just beat Slovakia 6-2. So it is the U.S. and Canada facing off on Sunday morning, bright and early. How are folks reacting at the arena?
Oh, they are pumped up for this game. I will say most people didn't want to see Canada play the U.S. They would prefer Slovakia, but either way, it's exciting. We're going to the gold medal match, and a lot of parents who are here watching their kids skate were busy. They had their phones up, getting the notifications for the game while watching their kids at the same time, and that's where we met Ron and Lincoln. They were here enjoying the game and skating too. So you were telling me that you got to see the game at school today. How was that?
It was really good. We had lots of fun. We got to skip a lot of school, too.
That's so awesome. How did you feel when you saw Canada win and go to the gold medal match?
Oh, it was awesome, though. Everyone in my class was just cheering, and it was so loud.
So now we know that the USA has won. The gold medal match will be between Canada and the U.S. Are you feeling confident?
I feel like we can definitely win this if our players just try hard enough.
Any plans for Sunday? Are you going to have a watch party, Dad? What's the plan for Sunday?
Yeah, we'll definitely make time to watch the game. It's very important for us to support Canada and bring home the gold medal. So.
And how has this experience been like for you? Does it make you feel proud to feel Canadian watching Canada go for gold?
Yes, definitely. I feel like it's also because Canada invented the sport, I think. So
it's our game.
It's
our
sense
game.
That we win.
Yes.
We're going to win this.
Our game. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We'll let you get back to the ice. Lots of busy folks here skating, hoping to become the next Olympian. But also to note for Sunday, Doug Ford has allowed bars and restaurants to start beginning selling liquor early at 6 a.m. So that will bring a lot more people to the bars to celebrate. So whether you want to drink before the game or hopefully celebrate Team Canada's gold medal match, people can do that all together at restaurants with bars and restaurants opening early, and that is Sunday morning. So bright and early, like you said, Liz and Arda will be setting our alarm clocks ready for that gold medal match against our rivals, the U.S.
Well, CJ, I agree with what your guest said. It is our game, and that's why Canada will win. Thanks for that report.
accurate prediction.
We agree.
Calgary's Brendan McKay took bronze today in the men's ski halfpipe. It's the first Olympic medal for the 28-year-old and second ever for Canada in the event, which debuted at the 2014 Games. And Canada also added a bronze medal today in women's speed skating. Valerie Malte picking up her third medal of the Games in the 1,500 meters. The 35-year-old is competing in her fifth Olympic Games.
Canada's women's curling team lost its semifinal. Rachel Homan dropping a 6-3 decision to Sweden this morning. Canada still has a chance to win a medal. Homan will take on the U.S. for bronze Saturday morning. And disappointment for Canada in the women's ski cross. Co-flag bearer Marielle Thompson was eliminated in the quarterfinals. She was going for her third medal in the event. Her teammates Hannah Schmidt and Brittany Phelan also went out in the quarters.
It was an impressive showing for Toronto figure skater Stephen Gogolev, who was competing for the first time at the Winter Games. The 21-year-old delivered the second best free skate in the men's singles event and clinched a fifth place overall in his Olympic debut. He joined CP24 this afternoon.
Yeah, I have rewatched the free program and short program from both of the events, the individual and team event. And overall, I'm really happy with the way I've improved over the past season. And the whole goal is just to continue improving, and not many major tweaks that will be happening for the World Championships.
546, 2 degrees. This is Live at 5.
And coming up, U.S. President Donald Trump responds to the Supreme Court striking down his global tariffs. Defense lawyers for Frank Stronach continue to cross-examine one of his accusers today at his sexual assault trial. Stronach's lawyers suggested to the court that the fourth complainant in the case remembers how things happened during a sexual encounter with Stronach decades ago, but is claiming to have memory gaps due to embarrassment. Several legal issues have arisen during the complainant's testimony. They focus largely on her interactions with the prosecution. The 93-year-old Stronach has pleaded not guilty to a dozen charges stemming from alleged incidents involving 7 complainants that date back to the 70s.
A judge has denied bail for a Toronto jeweler accused of laundering hundreds of millions of dollars in assets for an international drug smuggling ring allegedly led by Canadian Olympian Ryan Wedding. Roland Sokolovsky wanted to be released ahead of a hearing that will determine whether he'll be extradited to the United States. He's accused of laundering drug money through his jewelry business and procuring luxury items for Wedding, who was taken into custody last month in Mexico.
And vacationers, including some from the GTHA, are complaining of painful symptoms after staying at a hotel in Mexico.
From day 3 on, we just dropped like flies. We were going down 4, 5, 6 of us at a time. My son is still not well. He does have parasites in his stool.
Those who got sick at the Royalton Splash Riviera Cancun reported vomiting and stomach pain. They tell CTV News that their doctor suspected a foodborne parasite as well as norovirus was to blame, and one woman from BC had to be hospitalized when she got home. Her doctor said tests came back positive for E. coli. Vacationers say hotel staff started offering hand sanitizer to guests. The hotel did not respond to questions from CTV News.
Meanwhile, Peel paramedics were called to Pearson last night after 7 people fell ill on a plane arriving at the airport. Paramedics tell CP24 that none of them wanted to go to the hospital for treatment. There is no confirmation where the passengers were arriving from. A statement from Public Health says Peel Public Health can confirm that there is no evidence of risk to the broader public and encourages travelers to take simple preventative health measures before they depart to lower health risks. This includes consulting with a travel medicine specialist before traveling, following good hand hygiene practices, and avoiding potentially contaminated food or water.
Mayor Olivia Chow is touting a measure in this year's budget that will help lower costs for thousands of businesses in the city. Chow visited a restaurant on the Danforth this morning to speak about the increase in the small business property tax discount. It's rising from 15% to 20%.
Small businesses are also Toronto's #1 employer, and with over 10,000 restaurants and dining spots, many of them right here on Main Street like this one. But too many of our small business owners and entrepreneurs have been carrying too much for too long. High costs, complicated permits, and not enough help. Right now, you need our support, and we heard you.
For businesses like ours, that relief means stability. It means longevity in our local communities, greater confidence to hire, to reinvest in our storefronts, to maintain our buildings, and continue contributing to the vibrancy of our local neighborhoods. Small businesses create local jobs. We can support local suppliers. We keep Main Streets alive and our communities thriving.
The city says more than 95% of businesses employ fewer than 100 people, supporting nearly 1 million jobs, which represents 53% of all employment in Toronto. The U.S. Supreme Court has struck down President Donald Trump's sweeping global tariffs. The 6-3 decision centers on the tariffs Trump unilaterally imposed under an emergency powers law, including the reciprocal tariffs levied on nearly every other country. It's the first major piece of Trump's broad agenda to come before the nation's highest court. The majority found that the Constitution very clearly gives Congress the power to impose taxes, which include tariffs.
And the president reacted to the court's decision this afternoon at the White House, saying he will sign an executive order to impose a 10% global tariff.
In fact, I can charge much more than I was charging. So I'm going to just start. Although I firmly disagree with the court's holding today, the decision might not substantially constrain a president's ability to order tariffs going forward. That's because numerous other federal statutes, which is so true, authorize the president to impose tariffs and might justify most, if not all, of the tariffs issued in this case. Even more tariffs, actually.
Premier Doug Ford reacted to the ruling, saying in part, today's U.S. Supreme Court decision is another important victory in the fight against President Trump's tariffs. But the battle isn't over yet. We need to watch how the White House reacts. We need to keep up the fight against tariffs on auto, steel, aluminum, and forestry, which remain in place and continue to hurt our workers.
It's 5:54, 2 degrees. This is Live at 5.
And marking Black History Month in the GTA coming up, the great-grandson of Nelson Mandela is in the city, and he spoke to CP24 today.
Welcome back. A special guest is helping Canada mark Black History Month, and he has a last name that you will recognize. Dr. Siyabuela Mandela is the great-grandson of Nelson Mandela, and he is continuing the work of his great-grandfather as a South African human rights scholar. Dr. Mandela is in the midst of his Building Bridges tour. He's hoping it will be a platform to learn, reflect, and spark conversation.
More particularly, for Black people, it means that the continuation of subjugation of people of color, of Black people. So therefore, when we say we're engaged in a process of building bridges, we come from that understanding that as this generation, we then have a collective responsibility to build upon that foundation that our forefathers and our forebears have laid, the likes of Nelson Mandela, the likes of Winnie Mandela, Marcus Garvey, Martin Luther King, Viola Desmond, Lincoln Alexandra, if you're talking about Canada, building upon that foundation and recognizing that if these generations and generations yet to come are to enjoy this limited freedom that our forefathers and foremothers sacrificed and fought for, we therefore have a collective responsibility to build the bridges that will bring communities together.
And while in Canada, Dr. Mandela has several speaking engagements, including at St. Michael's College, George Brown College, and to students at TMU's Lincoln Alexander School of Law.
It's 5:59 and 2 degrees. This is Toronto's breaking news, CP24.
Thank you so much for watching. CTV News at 6 is next.